Okay guys, so here it is. Phoenix, Fire and Life Incarnate character reveal. Jean Grey is coming to Marvel Rivals. I'm so excited for her live reaction. Let's check it out together. I love her design. She looks so amazing. The delivery on the voice lines is absolutely insane.
And I was holding back.
Also, she's hit scan or really fast projectile. Okay, she's got a burn mark. Oh wow, look at that damage. Okay, usually the damage looks good on these videos because they're trying to promote it, and you know, like, it's never gonna... Oh my god, okay, that is something. Okay, she's got movement, thank you. She looks so good. Oh my goodness, wow. The chain reaction mechanic that Gongon talked about. Oh, here we go. Is this the ultimate showcase? Oh my god. Wow. That's insane. That's actually insane. Oh, little Dark Phoenix reference there. Okay, there's so much to break down. Season 3 is nearly here. We're literally just about 9 days away as at the recording of this video. Let's break down what she is. So it seems like Phoenix is a poke DPS character that's specializing in punishing comps that are going to be grouped up. And she punishes like the different summons or basically like deployables in the game. So first off, if we just try to break it down bit by bit, bear with me, you can clearly see that she is a projectile, maybe really fast projectile, or a hit scan character. And every time she basically lands a shot on somebody, one hit and two hits charges up a passive mark over them. And it seems that characters that get the mark on them take a little burn, right? So that's her primary fire, which looks really interesting, you know. And then over here, I think we see a showcase of her right click or her shift. Well, that's the movement. That's the shift right there. So her first ability is this movement ability that allows her to just like kind of dash away. And that looks really cool. And then the right click allows her to set off a chain reaction. So you can see over there, her alternate fire allows her to trigger a burst of damage on the targets that have the burn mark on them, if I'm not mistaking it. Yeah, it's really cool. And you can see like this really cool Phoenix fire over here. That looks really sick. So if you notice it as well, Venom doesn't have the full mark, but Thor does. And when she triggers the right click on the Thor, it does a big burst damage, and then a chain reacts into Venom to fill up the mark, and then there's the extra burst damage. So that's actually really interesting as far as her mechanics go. And she is trying to punish the grouped up comps in the game, which looks really interesting. I think she also looks really cool. And then moving on over, like, this is using her mobility together, which I think her E is entering the upwards flight, and then her shift is the dash, right? So I think she uses both over here. There's the upwards flight on a resource meter, and then the shift dash on a cooldown, 12-second cooldown. That's a lot. And then like anybody that's like pretty much marked, if you just try to have a quick look over here, as long as you can trigger the chain reaction, people that are grouped up together will take the big burst. It reminds me of Iliari's ultimate from Overwatch. So she's very similar to Iliari in that regard. Big fan because Iliari is my favorite support to play from Overwatch at the moment. So pretty much getting Iliari in a DPS focused way in the game looks interesting. The ult, now this is something interesting. I didn't notice it upon first glance, but I'm noticing it now. The ult might not be as good as people think it is. First of all, it seems to be slow. And as you can see, during the travel, the ult is 20 seconds long. So I guess you can control the state of the Phoenix that you're in, but you have 400 HP. So you can be bursted down. In this process, you can actually see she is beginning to get bursted down by the enemy team, and just as she drops on the floor, she hits the 185 HP mark before she explodes. So I assume there is going to be a really interesting counterplay window to punishing Jean's ultimate over here. So do keep an eye out on that. Her kit looks simple and straightforward, but it has a lot of depth and complexity, which I love having in my hero shooters. Depth and complexity on characters is really fun. I don't know if it's necessarily fair to say that this character is going to be broken. I do think this character is going to really help shake up the meta, because the problem with the meta right now in Marvel Rivals is that team comps just force themselves to play really grouped up together. That doesn't necessarily allow dive comps to thrive unless dive is just hard meta. Now, I don't, I like, she could fit into certain dive compositions with Venom and other dive tanks as well, but I think the character does have glaring weaknesses in the fact that she seems to be really, really diveable. She does have good movement on her, but in none of those instances of her movement does she ever go like invulnerable like Scarlet Witch or Hela. So I do think there's going to be a window to counterplay her, and of course she has a mechanics that she has to be able to trigger in order to maximize her damage. Now, as always in these showcase videos, when the devs give us the showcase, like obviously they just show off the character to make it look cool and things like that, but sometimes when they end up in the game, they can be underwhelming. For example, I need to remind everybody that Human Torch and Reed look really cool in their trailers, but when we actually got them in the game, they turned out to be very underwhelming. So I highly doubt that Jean Grey Phoenix is going to end up in that regard. But because she's a poke DPS character, I think there's more chances for her to actually work than not. I will be one tricking this character. She's actually my favorite X-Men, and I've always loved following her stories. They're always filled with really fun and interesting dynamics, drama, and everything like that. So I used to main her back in Marvel vs. Capcom as well. A little sad that the voice line wasn't a reference. The I can't control it, but we do get a really interesting voice line from the POV of her saying, what was it? I believe it was "You are nothing." So still gets across the point of one of the strongest Marvel characters coming into the game. Very interesting. I can't wait to play her. I definitely think she's going to shake up the meta. And finally, there'll be a way to get like low-key mains to swap, because the meta in highest levels of play of Marvel Rivals is just currently a spam of teams playing Loki and Luna together. So I do believe that she will finally force Loki to be out of the meta once she's in there. Now, hero bans are a thing, but I think with everything else that's in the game, you're going to want to prioritize banning them and keep Jean Grey as a nuclear deterrent in case, you have a deployable meta. So I'm really happy that she brings that niche with her kit, that she will be able to deal with deployables with her ultimate, which I think is desperately needed because there's a lot of deployables in this game that can get annoying fast. So, Namor, Loki, like these characters in the meta, like, your days are numbered. My girl Phoenix is coming and she's bringing the heat. The summer is going to be really exciting with Jean Grey joining, and I cannot wait to see the rest of the heat that's brought in with Blade later in season 3.5. As of now, everybody, that's it for my review for the Phoenix. I would love to hear your thoughts and comments down below. What do you like about the Phoenix? Let me know in the comments down below. With that being said, I'll see you in the next video where we'll probably be breaking down Phoenix's kit once we do get an early sneak peek from the other content creators in the Discord for the early access. So the people that have the early access, we'll talk about it when we get an early sneak peek at Jean's kit. So for first look purposes, she looks really fun to play, and I just genuinely cannot wait to play her. I'm gonna one trick this character so hard, bro. With that being said, everybody, see you in the next one.